How you going, guys and girls, and welcome to the channel. Today we are starting a new build. The 1 tonner is going to slow down a bit. I'm going to keep it running and driving up until I move. So this is another car I was working on while the 1 tonner was away. So we'll go for a run through and continue on with some work on it. Alright, so here's the fleet. There's the cat, just coming to say hello. Hey puss. Owned the chassis and the body for about 6 or 7 years. I've parted this car out twice. I've put it together twice too. This is the 3rd time round. There's a hole in the bonnet there. Cat's going to join us on the walkthrough. We've got just building a patina build. It's always the plan. The body's really good on this car. Sorry, I'm patting the cat. You got jelly beans, 14x7s and 8s. They look really nice on the car. Back's got the Kin Forest 265s. Now, if you've seen my DIY video, you would have seen the door trim that I made. So the rest of the trim door cards, kick panels are done. That door trim's done. It's a bit faded, but it'll add to the patina. New carpet. All the underdash is done. Still got to sort out a dash and some seats. For a car that's just been slapped together, it gaps up okay. Under the bonnet's a bit dirty, but she's all painted. Just with Rust-Oleum, which is, I think the type of paint's the KBS equivalent. Chassis done in the same. Now this little motor is out of that wagon just there. That was the motor I drove in it when it was when I was on P plates actually. And it ran like a Swiss watch, if I can say it. But didn't like the cold, loved the choke, but this thing's been sitting for about 10 years, so I'm gonna have to hook up some gauges to it and make sure we get oil pressure before we go to fire it. But just sorting out the wiring. The motor went in today, been routing the wiring. That's just sitting there for the headlights because I haven't got an inner guard on that side. Got a few little small jobs to do. Got to drag another car around so that I can rip the dash out and the steering column. But yeah, alright, that's about it. Start doing some work and making it into something that can run and drive. It's not a bad start at all. As you can see, that door's got a little bit of rust. That door's coming off. That's my spare for my wagon. But dog legs. It's got the old gas, but lower quarters. Lower quarters, you don't find them like that a lot. Tailgate, knackered like most H series. That's standard, that dent. I'm pretty sure every wagon's got that. Other dog leg. Not a great deal of rust in this car. Cows are great. And they're all metal. So we start doing some work and building a car. Come out the car. What? Hang on, he's going under the wheel. Can you see him? He's coming out.
Oh, that's a lizard.
What the fuck? He came out under the door. What's he doing?
Where'd he go?
Hey, big fat gecko. He's eating all the moths in there.
Oh, we lost him.
He's gone.
He's gone. He's disappeared.
He's absolutely gone.
Yeah, escapade.
A day in the life of right there. Alrighty, it's a new day. Here we have our donor. Just got a few bits to give up. Here's a HJ. So I'll be taking the HJ dash out of it. I'll be taking the column out of it. I do like the HJ dash. I've always wanted to use one. The nice strip dash. Got to take the calipers off of it too. We got the back tyres have got air in it. Front tyres are on the ground. The back one's off the bead on that side. So I've got 3 flat tyres. So it's going to be fun. And she's full of shit. So it's going to be very heavy. The old 1-tonner's not going to like it, but it'll do the job. So we'll move the 1-tonner around and probably change out some tyres, and then we'll tow it around to the shed, because I don't really feel like working in that space there in between the box thorn. Alright, next on the agenda is cleaning this out and ripping out the dash. So we're all ready to go on my dash there. Gonna pull out the whole loam steering column. I didn't film it, but that took me a while to clean because behind the dash face there was a wasp nest. So that was great. It was probably one of the grossest cars I've ever stripped out. So yeah, hopefully it looks alright in there. I'll keep going with it. Alrighty. So we got the dash in. All cleaned up fairly nice for what it was. Question for anyone out there. I've been told that these are either factory optioned or dealer optioned. And I'm really not sure. The car that I pulled this out of had one in it, so I put one in there. I kind of like them. While I was at it, I went ahead and did everything else that this car needs to start. It's got an exhaust now. Don't mind that it's hanging a bit low, that's just the bracket. The middle section of the exhaust is a bought section. I didn't make this, and it is truly terrible, so I'm gonna have to make that from scratch, but for now it'll do the job, just so it's not too loud. This rear section is from DEA Performance, 110 bucks for that, goes to the muffler, really cheap. That bit fits well. The middle section absolutely sucks. Under the bonnet here we are all ready to go, all wired up, all new loam. I went ahead and did everything. I had to do an alternator, all the vacuum lines, trans lines, coil. Had to do all the fuel lines as well, even at the tank, because the tank is not out of this car. So yeah, she's all ready to rock and roll. Alright, that is the end of things for today's episode. Pretty hard slog over the last couple of days, getting it all ready. The only thing that's stopping it from running is I want to put an oil pressure gauge on it, and I just need to get a little fitting that goes into the oil pump. After that, the only thing stopping it from driving is I need to rebuild the brakes. I've got some cast Gerlachs here, and I've got in the mail coming new pistons, new seals, new pads, new soft lines. I really didn't want to mess around with 48-year-old brakes. But the car's coming along pretty quick. I mean, all the underneath's painted, everything's in. I just got to do the trim, finish putting that in. Got to do some paint panel, getting it all one color, and then it will be fine tuning things, getting it ready for the ride. This car was just meant to be a bit of fun. As you saw in the picture at the start, this car was just out in the paddock, bare bones. It was an absolute waste. I'll be the first to say it, because it's a really good shell. It was always too good to cut up, and I always wanted to do something with it. So here we are. It's just a quick build, bit of fun, get it on the road. You know, another one saved and on the road. I'd rather them be on the road than out in a paddock on blocks like it was. So just building it out of what we've got and getting it on the road. Next video you'll see, we'll get it up and running. After that, I got to rebuild the brakes, and then I got to sort out front seats because I don't have any. So I'm just going to steal some from whatever models out in the paddock that look nice and nice to sit in. So I'll make up some brackets for that. After that, we'll be doing some paint panel. Got to readdress that exhaust because that hangs way too low, and I want to lower the front of this car because it sits way too high. The rear's already been lowered, sits nice with the 14s under it. But yeah, next couple of videos, get it running, rebuild the brakes, mount up some seats, and paint panel. It's just going to be a quick one. We're just going to try and motor through this one pretty quick, get it on the ride, have some fun with it. So yeah, until next episode, take it easy.